Somalia. I'm the Solar Engine Program Manager, and I'm fortunate enough to get to present Nate Berner and Chris White of Deep Green Solar today. They're a new partner to us, and we're very excited to go to market with them. Really interesting PPA that they have that they can offer. But I want to obviously put in my 2 cents real quick. And something that we developed with them is the direct pay program, where if you'd like to order material through a PPA, instead of ordering it from us directly and paying for it up front or putting on your terms, Deep Green will be able to distribute the funds for us for you to get that equipment, so that you can ease your cash flow a little bit more, keep that money for other operational expenses, marketing, whatever you need. Obviously, you're the entrepreneurs. You know what to do with the money better than I do, but we figured this will be really helpful for you guys' cash flow and ease those constraints. So yeah, without further ado, I will hand it over to Nate. And yeah, Nate, thanks for joining us today, my man.
Yeah, thanks very much, Josh, and the Soligan team. And thanks everyone for joining us today. We're looking forward to, we're pretty passionate about what PPAs can do for small commercial solar, and we're looking forward to sharing that with you. So Kelsey, can we get into the slides, please? Great. So basically the power of the PPA in general and the Deep Green Solar PPA specifically is that it lets building owners realize all the benefits from solar without coming out of pocket whatsoever. Really, for them, it's just savings. And they start saving the day the solar project gets PTO. So they don't pay any CapEx, they don't pay any OpEx, they don't pay any taxes. We take care of all that. And generally they'll save kind of 10 to 30% on their electricity spending. And sort of in exchange for that, they'll sign the power purchase agreement with us, which just says that a portion of the a portion of the electricity that they've been buying from the utility, from the grid, they are instead going to buy from the solar assets that we're going to build on their roof, in their parking lot, on the ground next to their structure. So it's pretty simple, and it also has a fixed price, unlike what you see with the utility, where the price could move up by 7% any given year. Our power purchase agreements let them know exactly what electricity is going to cost them for the length of the power purchase agreement. So that could be 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, are all pretty typical. We're also pleased to say that we can offer a 95% performance guarantee. So when we say that the solar array will produce a certain amount of electricity each year, if it goes sort of below 95% of that performance, we will sort of make up the difference. So we come out of pocket and compensate the building owner for the savings that they're missing out on. And we deal with the maintenance and repair that go with that performance as well. Should also note that the power purchase agreement, the PPA, doesn't create any sort of hidden balance sheet liability for these small, medium-sized enterprises. So it's not like they have to, put debt on their balance sheet or anything like that. We like to think that the only balance sheet impact is the cash that they'll pile up from the electricity savings. Next slide, please, Kelsey. Thanks. Chris, would you like to take us through this one?
Yeah, so basically our model is, as Nate said, is to provide the system, and we'll work with the construction company to make sure that the system is built to spec. We do a deep dive on an engineering review of the system to make sure that it's going to perform for the life of the contract and beyond. And so we'll do all the underwriting and the pre-work to make sure that that system is going to be designed and constructed to specification to meet our needs and to meet the requirements of the performance guarantee. Basically, working with the contractor, we have a standard EPC agreement you'll be able to review that up front as the contractor, make sure that, this is a market standard agreement. There are standard terms for milestone payments to make sure that you're cash flow positive through the experience, and make sure that, again, you're able to build the project and meet all the needs of the system and the customer's requirements. The customer basically will make sure that they're there to pay the terms of the PPA, and we'll make sure that the system is going to perform to specifications.
Thanks very much. Let's go to the next slide, please. Great. So this is sort of where the rubber meets the road. Size-wise for us, we're happy to go a little smaller than 75, a little larger than 750 kW. But in general, we're able to be kind of most competitive with our pricing and offer the biggest savings for the building owners in the sort of couple hundred kW and up range. And we also offer storage and EV charging sort of all rolled into the same PPA. So really, really easy, no additional documentation really. And in general, in terms of the size, it's also good to keep in mind the EPC costs. So let's say we can start getting sort of the savings get a lot bigger once you're above about $400,000 in EPC. But we're happy to do the smaller ones. It's just, of course, the prices are going to be a little bit higher. And as far as credit, which is also a big driver of the our ability to offer really low prices. There's not like specific metrics we're targeting, and we don't need audited financials. It's really just sort of common sense. Is this building owner still going to be around in 20, 25 years? And we're happy to, for a nonprofit, let's just say like a yacht club or a house of worship, where they're not going to be sort of piling up, big profits and have a big balance sheet. We're happy to look at non-traditional operational information, like how many members do they have, what are the weekly collections, things like that. So we're definitely on your side when it comes to trying to dig in and demonstrate that that an enterprise is going to be around for the long term. In terms of sectors, some of these are going to be investment grade. So of course, anything investment grade is really easy. Public schools, municipal are sort of the classic. Of course, universities are sort of the classic investment grade sectors that are that do really well with the PPA. And the PPA is of course sort of the only way that entities like that are going to be able to go solar. Or of course a lease, but that's sort of pretty rare. And then in the sort of sub-investment grade world, so a bit less good credit, but still pretty solid. Private schools are great. We love homeowners associations, commercial owners associations, multifamily residential. Healthcare tends to be great. Of course, classic nonprofits like the YMCA or Boys and Girls Club, something like that, will generally do really well.
Oh, I think we lost you a little bit, Nate.
Oh, sorry about that. We're back.
You're back.
Yeah, I was just saying that some of the classic nonprofits like a YMCA or a Boys and Girls Club of America are also great candidates for a PPA, and the PPA is the only way they're going to go solar. And then, of course, small, healthy mom and pop businesses, if they just want to kind of stay focused on their core business operations and not go into the electricity business, then happy to do a PPA for them as well. In terms of states, California, very much open for business. Massachusetts and Connecticut have great state level subsidies, so we're able to generate significant savings there for building owners. New Jersey as well. New York's pretty good. Rhode Island and Hawaii, of course. A bunch of other states as well. Vermont, sometimes Illinois. But yeah, no, most states in the U.S. now work for PPAs. So it's really about finding that combination of relatively high utility rates, so that we can generate the good savings, and then either lots of sun or strong state level incentives. Okay, we can go to the next slide, please, Kelsey. So to get a quote, you just cruise on over to our website, deepgreensolar.com, fill out the project intake form there. It should take you less than a minute. All we need from you is obviously how to get in touch with you, and then where the project is, size, is it rooftop, is it ground mount, whatever. You can give us the EPC cost, or you can give us the PPA terms if you've already set that. And then just let us know, if there are recs that we should be figuring into our pricing. So, if it's New Jersey, is it, $100 for 15 years or something like that. And then obviously the more information you can give us, the better we can be in terms of accuracy. So you can just confirm whether it's an owner or someone on a long-term lease. If you can give us 3 years of whatever financial information you have, could be a tax return, could be CPA reviewed financials, whatever you have. And then if you already have 12 months of interval data, that lets us do some sort of preliminary validation of the savings for the building owner. And we'll get you, once you give us at least the basics for the project, we'll get you indicative pricing, typically in a matter of minutes or hours. In a sort of stretch case, it would take us a day to get back to you, but it really should be quick. Next slide, please, Kelsey. Chris, you want to take us through this one?
Sure. So again, as Nate said, once you enter the information and we get you a quote, the next step is to present that to the customer to get the PPA signed and provide the PPA terms to them. Once we have a signed PPA or a letter of intent, we'll go ahead and do the diligence on the system. And that's really looking through, making sure we have a good roof to work on, the conditions at the site are well understood. We'll have an independent engineer take a look at the designs and make sure that everything checks and that we've got a good system, basically. We're going to run credit on the customer and make sure that we have a good project to build. Step 4, we'll sign the EPC agreement. Again, as I mentioned, fairly standard terms on that. Milestone payments that should make sure that as a contractor, you're cash flow positive through the deal. We'll go ahead and get that system tested and interconnection with the local utility signed off and the local permitting agency, AHJ, signed off and hit PTO. And then we'll move that into operations and maintenance and be tracking the performance of the system. So all fairly straightforward steps from NTP through PTO.
Yeah, next slide, Kelsey, and then yeah, Chris, I think you're taking us home with this one.
Yeah, and again, this is just a quick view of the standard payment terms. 10% at notice to proceed, standard 40% at delivery materials, reach mechanical completion, where we've got modules, racking, inverters mounted. Do a quick review there. It's 20% payment to make sure that we're compliant with the terms of the contract and the design of the system. Once you reach substantial completion, that's a 20% payment, and then a 10% at final, which is really just making sure that we've cleaned up the system, we've tested everything, and everything is ready to go.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks very much, Chris. I think we've got a few minutes now for questions. I saw a question that someone popped in while we were talking. As far as the states this product is available in, so we listed some of the states where the market is most active, but we're actually we're happy to talk to folks nationwide. Anywhere there's net metering and PPAs are available. So another question about paying for structures from a subcontractor. Chris, that's one maybe you could tackle, but in general, you know, we sort of build this into the EPCA. Chris, do you have any more nuance on that?
Yeah, no, I think it would all be covered in the design of the system. If there's anything specific that we want to take offline, happy to talk through any unique requirements on a project. But it should be pretty straightforward. Again, it really goes back to designing a system that's going to output the power and energy requirements that that the customer requires, and that we're going to be promising them under the PPA. We'll verify that and work with you on any of the individual requirements for the site.
Yeah, thanks. And a question about carport projects. Yeah, no problem. We're happy to do carport projects, happy to do ground mount. A question we get a lot about roof mount is how much of a roof repair, a roof replacement can be rolled into the solar, and the answer is we can roll pretty much all of a roof replacement into solar, but depending on the system design for solar and the kind of roof you're putting in, only a portion of the roof is usually going to be eligible for tax credits. So the sort of the savings that the building owner is able to generate with this are going to sort of vary depending on the roof design, but we're happy to crunch through it with you guys. Chris, there's a question about whether an EPC can use their own panels in general. The answer is yes. Do you have any comments just sort of on the AVL there?
Yeah, we have a standard approved vendor list that generally focuses on tier 1 panels, bankable panels. But if you have a specific panel that you'd like us to take a look at, we're happy to do that. And really, it just want to make sure that it's going to have a standard industry warranty, and we'll work with you on that.
Cool. And a question about rate code 281 in downstate New York. We don't have a lot of experience with that specific rate code. Yeah, I mean, we sort of need net metering. We sort of need kind of classic net metering for the PPA to work. So happy to catch up offline on that one. We've got a couple more minutes for any additional questions, but should also say that we're available for one-on-ones if folks want to get to know our product and our team a little bit better, or kick the tires on a first project together. We're happy to chat. On the Solligant side, do you guys want to say a few words about your is it the direct pay program and how that interfaces with all this?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, well, maybe you guys want to jump in now, unless we get any more questions on this.
No, of course, I can definitely hit on it a little bit. I did at the beginning, but if anyone has any specific questions about it, they can drop it in the Q&A. But I'll expand on what I said before. Direct pay is going to be incredibly useful to you for I guess several reasons. So let's say, for instance, perhaps you're ordering material for this job that you're financing through Deep Green Solar that exceeds what your credit terms are with us. Using direct pay could be a fantastic way of ordering that equipment and us being okay shipping it to you, because I know Nate and his team are going to pay us on the back end at certain milestones. So you're basically able to get equipment relatively, I don't want to say risk-free, but at the same time, you're getting it without having to worry about paying us up front. So I gave you the example of if it's, going to be in excess of your credit terms, well, maybe you do have large enough terms and you want to be able to save that for other orders, whether that be, residential jobs you're doing, other large commercial jobs you're doing, or just stocking orders to keep your cash flow free and not have to worry about, hitting your credit limit with us. Direct pay can be an excellent tool, and, best part about it all is it's free. Really just want to be able to offer you guys something that allows you to order material from us a little bit stress-free. And also, keep jobs flowing, because there's nothing like having, I guess, stopped up credit terms when you're trying to grow. So direct pay can be incredibly useful for you in those cases. But yeah, if there's any specific questions about it right now, feel free to drop them in the Q&A, or like Nate's been saying, we can have a one-on-one too. I think for the most part, everyone here that's attending probably has my contact information, and you can call me directly, and we can have a deeper conversation about it. But yeah, I think that kind of hits that. Any other, I guess, outstanding Q&A questions from the field?
Yeah, I'd say, Kelsey, if you can go to the next slide, that's got our contact information. I guess we can make this presentation available to folks, and maybe the recording as well. But yeah, get in touch. Happy to chat with you guys anytime.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Nate and Chris. Great having you guys today. I'm sure everyone got a lot out of this, and yeah, I hope we can start putting some glass on rooftops together here.
Yeah, and just one last question that came in about NDAs. No problem. We've got a standard NDA which we can sign up front when we're talking about project details, or happy to use yours in general. Yeah, thanks to Josh and the team, and thank you all for joining us today. And have a great day, and look forward to speaking further.
Right. Thank you, everyone.